What's the difference between a man who genuinely believes he can become a king compared to a man who's just playing pretend?
Probably the biggest thing that it comes down to is...
Carlo Chincarini is a leading mindset, leadership, and high-performance coach based in Australia. With over 15 years of coaching experience, he's known as the Kingmaker, helping entrepreneurs, athletes, and executives overcome limiting beliefs, eliminate ineffective people-pleasing habits, and scale their businesses.
I felt like there was always something wrong with me because I'm doing things like I'm told, or like I assume it should be done, or the myth that we have in society that things should be done a certain way and then you have success. And I did it. Felt like I missed something. We approval seek and we people please and we hide ourselves and we change ourselves and we put on a mask and pretend that we're something that we're not, so that ultimately we can do three things. One is get...
For males in particular, we're very reliant on that dopamine feedback loop.
Yeah.
And at so many different levels.
Yeah.
The male brain absolutely thrives on achievement, goals and progression.
Listening to you say that, and I'm going, what's my thing then of when I go and achieve the thing, I don't get that dopamine rush. Carlo, what's the difference between a man who genuinely believes he can become a king compared to a man who's just playing pretend?
It's a good question. There's a few different things. Probably the biggest thing that it comes down to is the ability for him to know himself and to not let or outsource his self-worth to results, to outcomes. It's a man that knows who he is and is at peace with himself and is able to break free from the patterns and the old identities that have shaped him up until now, and to actually be aligned to who he really is. And we talk purpose a lot and identity. And it's, I would say it's down to that, to not outsourcing your self-worth and who you are and your identity to achievement, to outcome, to what you have, to the ego.
I'm keen to dig into how you help guys do that today, but we're looking a little bit into your backstory. And if I've got this right, you're from Verona originally. And even as young as 10 years old, you struggled a little bit with self-worth and even had body confidence issues.
Yep.
How's your journey transformed to then bringing you to a point today where you help men go through that transition?
Yeah, it's something I battled all my life. So even before that, I grew up in a household where I was raised by a single mum, right? I don't know my biological dad. In that household in Italy, I also grew up with my grandma and my auntie up until I think it was about the age of 7. So I really was one of those kids where I love sport. I love going to school for my mates. I just love being really active. And I really struggle with school, but I also struggle by not having that father figure and that male figure. And I was a kid that I really needed that. And I was overweight because I love food, I love pasta, I love pizza, and I love football, right? Yeah. That was basically my childhood. And those things really played a big part in comparison. I would go to school. I was never really good at school, and I see like all the kids are really good at school, and they seem more worthy and more loved and more accepted and wanted and desired, and by to be with and around other kids and in football teams and all of that. And so it's something I battled my whole life, and I guess it's the journey. It's been an unfoldment of a journey for me over a long period of time. I'm still not there. I'm very much a work in progress. I'm stuffed up like a lot of other people. I'm just lucky that there's things that I've come across have genuinely helped me, and they seem to genuinely help other people as well, which is really cool. So I guess what happened for me is I started a business at 18 when I moved after I finished high school here, and it was the biggest personal development journey that you guys know, right? It just continuously forces you to be better. And in that unfoldment of this journey, I started asking different questions and going, well, I'm good at what I do, but why is it that I'm not successful? I felt like there was always something wrong with me, right? Which is part of the work that I do with people now. This deep ingrained, well, there's something wrong with me, because I'm doing things like I'm told, or like I assume it should be done, or the myth that we have in society that things should be done a certain way and then you have success. And I did it, and I just didn't get to, it was empty, right? It was I don't know, it just felt like I missed something. So I started doing the work and landed sort of up on the work that I kind of do now, and here we are.
What was the first business at 18?
So I started it was a kids sport and confidence program, right? So after high school, I had a terrible enter score in Victoria, and I got into a international studies course, and I'm like, I don't think this is for me. I'm always been a people's person, always loved sport, and I had this idea, and actually it came down to we traveled back home for the first time in about 5 years since we had moved, and I was at my childhood football soccer club. I was on the fence, and it was just before Christmas, last session, I think before Christmas holidays. In a non-creepy way, I was standing at the fence and I was watching the kids play. And here I'm thinking, like, I don't know what I want to do in my life. I really don't. What am I going to do? Right. And I was watching them play, and it's almost like life just flashed before my eyes, and light bulb moment went off, and I remembered what that place did for me and what coaches, the role that they played in my life. And I thought, man, I want to help people become the best they can be. And at the time, all I knew was football. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to use sport as a platform, not because I want to, create the next, superstar, but because I want people to become the best they can be. And if in that process they become great players, like some have, which is mind-blowing, awesome, bonus. But I just want people to become the best they can be. And then with coaches as well, I'd like to help coaches become the best they can be. And there was that leadership aspect. So I started it. It was the greatest thing I could ever have done. Totally guerrilla marketed and did it right from the ground. English is my second language. I had no idea about P&L, BAS. I did it. I had sales, marketing. I just thought, I'm going to open my business and, people are going to come in. Doesn't work that way. Does definitely not work that way. But I grinded it out, and I really used it as my apprenticeship into business. Yeah. Became a multi-award winning program. Helped hundreds of kids. I lived on about $3.62 an hour for 10 years, which was not fun. So I like helping people get cashed up and make money to do stuff they love. And then life happened, and COVID happened, and a higher calling came and said, hey, I think there's more to this, and here we are.
You mentioned that your first business was an incredible personal development journey and lesson. Yeah. What happened to you during that time? Because obviously the work you did was awesome, but I'm keen to hear what you went through as an individual. Yeah.
The real story was that, and this is why I'm really passionate about people in the care industry, in service-based industry, because the truth is that I would put on this great mask and I would hide all the problems that I had, because I had to sell and I had to get people to approve of what we were doing. And so I had to be really strong all the time. And there was the public showing the performance, and then there was the real stuff inside. So I would go on these cycles of, mind you, keeping a really happy smile, working with kids, being great, parents loving it, but also going through nervous breakdowns, mental breakdowns, stress, anxiety, scarcity, and all of that. And I would never show it because I'm a nice guy, right? And I'm here to help, and I'm here to help people, and I'm here to do it so that the more they like me, the more I can, grow my business. And it was exhausting, man. Like it was still the greatest thing I could have ever done, because it taught me, because it taught me business, it taught me people, it taught me human behavior, performance, right from, I'm talking 2-year-olds, right? All the way to teenagers. And I wouldn't be who I am without that. And it exposed a lot of the internal, challenges that I had that maybe I will never have seen, right? If I didn't go through in the deep end. And it was bootstrapped, never got given any money, never got support. I got support, but never sort of real that someone would do it for you kind of thing. And it wasn't easy because, it's, especially when you do something as a service and you're in that educational care or industry, you're there to help. You're there to help people, and you never want anyone to see you, what you're really going through. The reality is 99.9% of business owners go through the same thing. And it's tough.
How much of the grit and the resilience in those early days would you credit towards the sporting background that you had?
It's a good question. See, being in sport my whole life, part of it was, it's just what you do. You know that there are times, and I've never played a really high level sport, right? That wasn't me. I loved it, and I loved the camaraderie. I loved the team. I loved the community and the connection of that. But in sport that's just what you do. There's a challenge. You begin to love the challenge and you seek it. You want to find it. That's why you guys keep doing what you're doing, because business is really just another competitive sport, right? We're business athletes. That's what we are, right? And we love it. We love the uncertainty of like, shit, is it going to work? Is it what's going to happen? Like, and now where could we go to? What could we create? And so on. But I also, I will credit a lot to part of my migrant story as well. So mum and dad, we're first generation here. They had no support, no community here, and they moved. And it reminds me, like I get visions of my dad. He was an accountant, and he would be downstairs at home in Italy. He would study, learning English, studying, transferring all his stuff over. And he would do it night after night after night after night. And subconsciously that created an identity of like hard work and just keep going. You want something, you make it through, and then you move all to the other side of the world, which I know you guys have done as well. You've got nothing. You got to survive, right? You don't have an option, a plan B, another option. You don't have anything. You got to go through. And in my head, even now, I'm like, I know I'm going to win. Just a matter of when and how big. I know it's going to happen. Let's go. We're not stopping until we do.
I love it. The migrant side of things is huge. Like we've done the same journey. I think it takes a certain person to move across the other side of the world, whether it's at our age as adults without your family, whether it was at your age as a youngster and go through such a big change. We think that's a massive impact on what we do today. Yeah. It's quite funny you share the story of watching your dad study. I've shared on a previous podcast, like when I remember as a youngster, my mum's now a head of theatre back in England. So she's theatre nurse, does operations every day. And I came home and used to watch her study at night, and this was before AI, where it was actual books and writing things down and writing your own assignments every single night. And I think that's where my drive comes from. I love what you said about you've got nothing to fall back on. We were the same. We find it quite freeing. How do you find that? Because it can be scary at the same time. There's no one to bail you out if shit hits the fan.
Yeah. See, my journey has been one where I had to rediscover my own power, right? And what I mean by that is that it can be freeing, but you got to have a certain level of self-awareness and self-confidence and certainty about you. You got to know who you are, right? And when you've done hard shit, that's easy. I gave up that throughout my life, right? And I always, and I struggle with that victim mentality and waiting for a savior and waiting for someone to come and bail you out. So there's a responsibility that comes with that. But also then you step into what I call that king self or that king energy, and you go, hang on a minute, I'm a badass. Look at everything that I've done. And so you start to connect the dots looking backwards, and you see, man, there was that moment and this moment and that moment that I didn't know how I was going to get through. Man, like, I don't know what's going to happen, because we tend to look forward in the future about what we're creating, and we try to find the answers there. But the answers are never there. They're always in the mirror or in the past and the things that we've done and how we've overcome that. So it's something that personally for me, I have to do it every day. I have to see myself do hard shit every day. It's great. And it's also like, okay, just got to keep showing up every day, because it's, at least for me, and I'm probably different from other people, but I need to earn it every day. I earn it, and I earn it. And as I earn it every day, I relax. I relax not in a complacent, I don't give a shit anymore, I'm just going to chill out. But I've got that peace of mind, right? That peace of mind to go, I know who I am. And once I know who I am, I'm okay with no backup plan. Why? Because I know who I am. I know what I can do. I know who I really, not what I've done, but who I am. And I think that's a missing thing. A lot of, especially us guys, we miss, right? Because of what I was saying at the top, that we think that what we've achieved or what we have is who we are, but it's not. So hopefully that answers the question. Yeah.
What's the fuel source? And the reason I asked that is similar backgrounds, right? Kind of working class, pretty much single mums for the most part for all of us. Yeah. What fueled us and probably still does is that chip on the shoulder, moving away from pain, right? Survival, graft, in the trenches. We've probably shared this a few times on a few different podcasts. When does that run out? At what point do you need to stop moving away from pain and actually just move towards fulfillment? and pleasure and impact, right? And then what does that change then in how you handle, the challenges of life?
It's a really good question because clearly you guys are living it, right? That's why you can ask that question. Purpose gets thrown around a lot. I've got an issue. I think that we're missing the mark on purpose, and I'll connect the dots here. Because we especially in business, we talk about purpose as our vocational purpose, right? Work-wise, what's our business purpose? I think we've got two. We always tend to fall back into that one, right? Because it's easy. I think our personal purpose is the one that we forget, but it changes the game. And the reason is that once you figure out what your personal purpose is away from business, right? Okay, your purpose as a business, if I just think at it from the outside looking in, is that you want to make a ton of cash by helping people get into a job, right? Roughly, right? It's cool. No need to hide it. It's perfect. You want to make a lot of cash. I love it. But your personal purpose is different. If we tie our personal purpose to our business purpose, then you're always living almost outside of you in a way. But you also have never got something that drives you despite everything else, right? So I geek out on this a little bit. I've got my answer. And I think my personal purpose and our personal purpose is really becoming the best that we can be. Now, if my personal purpose is becoming the best that I can be, game over. It's game over. Because no matter what I do, I'm doing it so that I can become the best that I can be. Give me a situation, become the best you can be. How? A conversation with your staff, conversation with how you show up with your wife, your kids, your whatever, right? Be the best you can be. Who's the best you can be in that moment, right? All of a sudden, you're not running away from fear, or you're doing something out of fear or out of scarcity or out of whatever. You're doing it because you're actually proactively building something that is between you and you that no one can take away. Economy is going to do whatever it is going to do, but who you are and what yourself become, no one can take that, right? There's power in that. And all of a sudden, how I interpret that power is like, okay, I'm not running away from anything anymore. I'm not scared of anything anymore. I've got my power back. No one can touch it. So now what that means is that I can go forward and have that peace of mind that I don't need to seek approval from anyone else. I'm seeking it from me. When I'm good with me, I'm unattached. I don't care what happens in a way, right? Yeah, I don't want good things to happen, of course, right? But I'm good between me and me. So in a roundabout way, answer to that question, my way of thinking it is that the answer is always us. And if we're taking care of that, then whatever you do, you don't run away from it. You're just excited to build and create something really good, right? Which means that if I'm focused on that all the time and I'm totally obsessed about it, I'll take care of whatever the looking after people or making sure I've got enough, financial assets and to create security, whatever that is, right? But it's just a bit of a counterintuitive, inside out way of taking care of what, it's always top of mind for us in a way.
We just redid our purpose as a business. And in the first few years, you have all the cliche stuff. Yeah. And we do it because we're so busy and we set it and we're like, we just move on. Yeah. We always come back to it and just go, that's not us. And we finally, probably in January, we landed on something and we were like, that is us, not only in Harwell, but us as people. When you go back to your personal purpose, the new business we're launching, why we do this podcast, and that is quite funny, that new purpose is obsessively unlocking full human potential. That's us for ourselves. That's for our staff that we hire.
Beautiful.
For our clients that we place people into their business, for the job seekers that we help move on in their career, for the people that listen to this podcast. And the reason we started this podcast is to share stories so they could obsessively unlock their full potential. And the new business that we're launching to help people career change and build a better life for themselves. That purpose,
it's good,
just fits across everything.
So aligned. Yeah,
it felt so good, mate.
Yeah, and it feels light. Yeah, and it feels right. Yeah. And it feels normal. And it feels. And
you're proud to share it. That's the big thing. I think if you'd asked me what the old one was, I wouldn't be able to tell you, and I'd have been a little bit squeamish telling you because it would have sounded like cliche bullshit. Yeah. Whereas now I could tell you everything: the purpose, the vision, the niche, 3 uniques.
Because it's who you are.
Yeah. And it's beautiful because when you unpack it, it goes down to obsessively unlocking full human potential. It's behaviors, traits and disciplines that you do on a day-to-day basis. It's not recruitment tactics or anything like that. It's the behaviors and the drive that make you obsess over the recruitment tactics. But as you said, it's freeing because you can apply that to any area of life. If the recruitment industry disappeared tomorrow, we'd joke that we'd go and buy a ute and we'd go and buy a lawnmower and we'd be the best fucking landscape gardeners on the Gold Coast.
Oh yeah, I bet
because we would be obsessed over that. And that's where I think the real power is on that self-discovery.
It's good. It's huge. There. It's huge. And there's so much, I geek out on this stuff, right? So there's so many layers to it as well. But it's really good when you find organizations, people that are aligned with it, that know it, and it's an unfoldment. I don't think it's an evolution. I've heard it once, I can't remember from who, but it said that life is always an unfoldment. And as you go and you seek truth, whatever that is, and the deeper, the more real thing, more and more unfolds all the time, which is really cool. And looks like you guys are getting closer and closer and closer, and something that feels good. And yeah, it's really cool.
I'm keen to take this into practical people you help now. How do you do it? Before that, though, one caveat. I haven't looked at the stats, but I'd say we're 60-40, 60% men who listen to this, 40% females. Obviously, the term Kingmaker implies a speaking mainly to the more masculine side of that as well. But there's a lot of similarities in the women listening to this and what they could implement and do as well to make the same changes.
The core, yes. Cool. So it's something that I battled a lot, right? As a recovering people pleaser. And nice guy, and someone that lived with a scarcity mindset a long time. This is something I really had to battle, and I was tentative for a long time to go like, oh no, I just want to work with everyone, and I can work with women. I've got nothing against women. I think there's so much great stuff for women out there. The core essence is the same, all right. But for me, where my thing is, I'm all in on just. Sounds a bit weird. I'm all in on guys. No, I'm just.
We'll cut that little bit up.
So no, I'm just super committed on just working just with guys alone.
I need to do a truth, right? I think that's probably the most important thing. Like, I know for me, if I was going to tell a woman how to go through their teenage years and turn into a young adult, I'll just be guessing. Right? I want to live that.
And the other way around too. Right? Like there's some guys that just only work with women coaches. Cool. That's your thing. I still feel that a lot of guys need guys, right? And we're losing that for a multitude of reasons. But back to your question in terms of the work that we do, basically my thing is helping men, helping people to break free from what I call the nice guy syndrome, right? And I target the work that I do at leaders. Now, the nice guy syndrome is really the approval-seeking way that we go about things. And we in a lot of little subconscious ways, especially in leadership, especially in high-performance environments, when there's a lot of really good people with a really good heart, they've got the right intention, but they still live life seeking approval from everyone around them. Men with their wife, wives with their husband, right? It's the same thing, that approval seeking, that really, when you dig into it, is a response of a psychological state called toxic shame, right? So that's been probably the biggest battle of my life to just break free from shame, right? And toxic shame, really, that psychological state comes from, it's an identity piece that says there is something wrong with me. Deep down, I'm bad, right? Now, I grew up in Italy, deep Catholic upbringing, and I'm like, I need to do all these things. I need to be a good boy. I need to do all the right things so that no bad shit happens. And so in order to do that, I had to make sure that everyone approved of me and had to look a certain way, right? And this happens in business all the time. When you do that, you're ultimately living out of fear of three things, right? The fear of rejection, the fear of humiliation, the fear of abandonment. And it's those abandonment experiences that we have as kids, especially in you will know what happens in the first 0 to 7 years, right? It's your brain's super susceptible and it creates your identity, your subconscious program, all of that kind of stuff. So what we do, we understand that, hey, if I'm not a good boy, if I don't do, and mum's not happy or dad's not happy, do I get a little bit of that? Because kids are great emotional detectives, right? They pick it up straight away. I do something, what's your response? Shit, you're not happy. I'm not going to get my needs met, which might be the little freaking toy or the lollipop, right? And for me, it's so irrational, but that lollipop or that toy means that I'm loved. And that's my need right now, right? And if I don't get that need met, basically how I'm interpreting it as a 2-year-old or 1-year-old is that there's something wrong with me, and it means death, right? So because we want to take care of all of those needs, we become a version of ourselves that we think other people need us to be, right? To get that approval, to make them happy, so that we don't feel that rejection, that humiliation, that abandonment. Fast forward to people in business and in leadership, it's the same thing. And we as leaders, let's say we've got staff, we've got obviously family, got a relationship. We don't want to be rejected. We don't want to feel like, oh man, like I'm wrong, people are going to leave. Or humiliation. Hey, if they really see that I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing myself and I'm doing the best that I can, man, they're going to see that I'm flawed. They're going to see my mistakes and they're going to just like does he think he is? And they're going to go lose respect, right? Or they'll leave me. And there's that abandonment again, right? And so we approval seek and we people please and we hide ourselves and we change ourselves and we put on a mask and pretend that we're something that we're not, so that ultimately we can do 3 things. 1 is get the love that we deserve and we crave. 2, get our needs met, right? Think in a romantic relationship, all the shit that we do so that we can get our needs met, right? Men and women, it's the same thing, right? And then final number 3 is live a problem-free life or have a problem-free business. Because if I don't have that confrontation with my staff member, or if I charge less, or if I just, put myself last and do the thing and take care of my client, then I have a problem-free business. Doesn't work. Doesn't work, right? And it leads to frustration, leads to people having so much pent up anger and rage, which we don't want to show, right? Why? Because, that's bad. You don't want to be that guy, the aggro guy or the aggressive guy or the one that shows that emotion. So we don't even become authentic anymore. It's a long answer. So the work that we do is really targeted at leaders with teams that want to create real teams of excellence. But in order to do that, we have to take care of the person leading, the head of the business. And so we help them break free from that. We help them become kick-ass themselves so they can create teams that kick-ass. So it's a lot of internal kind of journey. It's a lot of fun. It's like we've seen people transform, like it's crazy. And I'm just doing it because it helped me. I was that guy and I struggle with all of it. I still do. I walk it every day and try and have a lot of fun in the process.
A question. The way you speak and you're so open, and that you help men come from Mr. Nice Guy or people that just are seeking approval, and you've said you've been through that yourself. The name Kingmaker could potentially thought-provoke something very different. Have you ever had backlash in the opinions? I think at the moment...
You think manosphere, right?
People think manosphere. And we researched your work and we knew it wasn't that. We know people who've worked with you, but not everyone has that in.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I've worked with a lot of different coaches and all that kind of stuff. I've got to a point where I think for my work to be what it is, it comes down to relationship, right? And it comes down to sometimes hearing the message. It's okay. Some people are just going to see it and go, oh, he's just, this and that. And it's just the amount of times that, that name will never help you succeed. You're going to fail because of the name. It's like, no problem.
Cool.
No worries. It's
Back
okay.
to your purpose.
All I can do is just be true to me. I have a vision of what I think a king looks like. And it's never about me over someone else. Because that's not true, right? That's not what it actually, it's not when a man is at peace with himself, man, I want to see you succeed. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you succeed. I'm cool. Why? Because I've taken care of me first. I'm good, right? I'm trying to be the king over me, right? I'm trying to create myself to be my own version of a king, that I don't want to live seeking your approval. I don't want to live seeking your approval. I'm going to do me. I'm going to live as true to me as I can, authentic. I'll tell you all the fuck ups that I've done, all the problems that I have. I've got nothing to hide because I'm not hiding from myself anymore. And so I'm comfortable, right? I joke, I get angry sometimes, I get passionate sometimes. Sometimes I have to yell at people. Sometimes I have to put my arm around them and cry with them because their friend passed away, so I'll sit with them at their funeral. It's cool, man. It's about becoming integrated. It's not going from one extreme to the other, where I know I see a lot of stuff around the manosphere, and I haven't really made many comments around it yet. I think it's easy because guys are frustrated and they're full of rage around the fact that we don't know how to be blokes anymore, right? It's bad. We like Kingmaker, oh, you should work with women. Why? It's not me, man, right? Great. If they want, no problem. I've got literally no problem with anything. It's all good, right? But then we seek those role models that tap into something. And to me, it's not integrated. It just doesn't sit right. And I'm happy to be wrong. All good. No problem. I just have the way that we do it and it works. And the guys actually do the work. They're like, man, this is different. This is just simple. It doesn't have to be rocket science. We can take a review and you're going to be a better husband. Your wife's going to feel more loved. Your staff is going to have a really good boss. That doesn't mean he's just compliant or he's got no boundaries. No, because the people that we lead need boundaries, need strength, need all of that. But we feel wrong because we've been taught that it's wrong. And then if you are a king, you are a jerk. It's not true, right? So it's a good conversation.
Yeah. And I think the people that have made those preconceived opinions based off the name, it's quite ironic because all the work you've done and everything you've shared today, it's about ultimate vulnerability.
Yep.
That's the polar opposite of probably what they're assuming. And the people that do have those preconceived ideas are probably the ones that are struggling with the ultimate vulnerability to actually go on that self-discovery journey.
And sometimes we're happy to just go on an ego trip and to look at that and to judge a book by its cover instead of actually saying, let me hear two sides of the story. Like, what's the message? And it's okay, because if that acts as a filter and people that come through like, man, actually makes sense, right? Sometimes I don't make sense of myself, but it makes sense of that. It's okay, right? But it's, I sit here, hand on heart, I have the best group of people that I work with, right? I don't like to talk to them as my clients because they're their own people. And I'm grateful that they just see something in me. They're like, man, I want something that you have, and I can see how we resonate in that. I've got the best group of people. Like, I love it. And the moment I started looking for the right people and the right projects, the people that were hungry, people that wanted more and they were willing to do the work, man, everything changed. I just love the people that I work with right now. So good.
The people who would say, oh, I'm not working with them because the Kingmaker and what it sounds like, they're people trying to find a reason not to do something. Yeah. And there's so many, right? There's a million reasons why you shouldn't do a lot of stuff. It's about actually finding the reasons why you should and having that be more powerful.
Okay, if it was you guys and they're like, oh, no, two blokes in a business, right? I'm not listening to that. Right? But we're both in the relationship business, right? The only way I can get someone to do something that has been keeping them stuck and handcuffed for years is if we have a relationship where you trust me, right? Now, if I have to change or there's a block there because of that, then I don't.
No,
okay, pass, next, cool, right? Which, by the way, I had to overcome all the scarcity stuff in my head around that. It's like, oh no, maybe I need to change what I do and please everyone so that I can make money, right? And then I was like, it's not working.
It's part of the self-awareness journey. We did the exact same thing when we started Harwell. It was like, let's just be our pure, authentic selves, because we were operating in a big global brand where everything was frowned on if it wasn't the box they wanted you to tick. And some of the fucking stupid videos that we did early on and the stuff that we'd say and put online, and similar to yourself, like, you know, there were opinions made of it, but we just went back to, well, no, this is who we are as people. If it repels someone, then they're someone that naturally won't have a good relationship with us because they think we're idiots and they're not the right people for us to work with, because we can't get the best results if we don't feel like we relate to you. So it's the exact same reason that you stuck so true and authentic to your beliefs.
It's been hard. I haven't been perfect.
It is. It's hard.
Head noise. Hand on heart, it's hard. But you know, to the point that you made, right? Because I hear a lot of people, and there's a little nuance. I hear a lot of people say, I just want to be really our authentic self. Yes, but with skill too. With skill. Right? Because we can be our authentic self without skill, and then it doesn't work. So there is a skill component to it to be done in the right way, right? And not just oh yeah, I'm just gonna just be myself and just, I don't know, go into a business meeting with, I don't know, you're going in to speak to a corporate client, let's say, and you walk in without shoes because that's you on the beach. It's got to be done with skill.
Yeah.
Right? Still be yourself, don't hide it, but also understand context where things are at. So which I think you guys are just because I hear a lot, and I think it's an important piece to remember.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Two Blokes, One Business podcast.
Now, apart from being world-class podcasters, we also run a recruitment agency called Harwell.
If you're keen to learn a little bit more about what we do, then head over to our Instagram at Harwell Group and check us out.
Back to the app. Can we do a bit of a live exercise, mate? I'm keen to flip this now. Me and Harvey just walked into the Kingmaker's den. We're saying, hey, mate, we're looking for some help, right? Yeah. Where do we start, mate? What's your first few steps to, I guess, one, understand where the people you're sat across from are currently at, and then if you can actually go and help them, or if they're the kind of people you should be helping in the first place.
I never know if I can help someone, right? And that's sort of been a part of my maturity process that, first of all, I wanted to help everyone. And I'm like, well, hang on. I don't know if I can help. The core is pretty simple, right? It's, what do you want? Not what I'm telling you should want, or what Susan's telling you should want, or Instagram's telling. What is it you really want? Now, that is the simplest and hardest answer to come up with, or question. The reason why it's hard to answer is this. Because it's not about actually what you want, but it's actually a self-worth question. Most people would answer that question with what they think they can get, right? What they think they're allowed to get. Down to self-worth because, hey, if I really said what I really wanted, oh man, I don't know if I'm worthy of that, right? So that opens up mindset and opens up around self-worth and identity. Getting clear on that is pretty vital, right? Because it gives you direction. Otherwise, what are we working towards? Right.
What's your answer to that?
What's my answer?
Just sat down.
My answer now is very, very different to what it would have been 3 years ago at the start of this personal development business journey. 3 years ago, what do I want? I want to earn $1 million a year. How fucking surface level and superficial is that? Now, what do I want? I want to provide a good life for my family, and I want to live at peace within myself. Because similar to you, my head has been a very, very noisy place for a very, very long time. Yeah. And we had a guest on here a few weeks ago called Jack Corbett. And we asked him a question, Az asked him a question, what would 15-year-old Jack be most proud of today? And his answer honestly gave me goosebumps. And he just says, I love me. And I was like, I'm trying to get to that point. If I can get to a point where I'm providing a good life for my family and that night, every day I can go to bed and go, fuck, I love me. Yeah. And I've got no head noise or self-doubt. Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy.
Okay. Head noise and self-doubt. What would you say your biggest struggle is? What's your biggest challenge? Be as vulnerable as you want to be. I'm asking you the same question.
A bit like your journey. I seek my validation comes through what other people think of me.
Yeah. It's big. How does that play out?
You're just constantly chasing on a hamster wheel. Because you win one person over and they validate you. Okay, now someone new's come into my life. Yeah. How can I get them to validate me and think I'm great? Because then all of a sudden you attached your worth to this person's opinion here, and now you're attaching it to this person's opinion. So it's just that hedonic treadmill, and it's never ending.
Yeah. Adam?
The first question of what do I want? Or should we go from there? I think I want to be involved in big projects and achieve big challenges with good people and have a life of kind of choice. I don't need to do anything. I want to. Like a really intentional, purposeful energy. And I get to do this, not that I have to.
Yeah. So what stops you with that?
My skill level right now. We're 3 years in. We've learned a lot. We've come a long way. But we're still building the ship while we're flying it. And we think we're on the right path now. We've been on a lot of different ones. We think we've got the North Star, but it's now just the work to get to where we want to be.
Yeah. Okay. Is that the same as your biggest struggle, or what would you say your real biggest challenges?
As a person? Yeah. I think my biggest challenges, actually they 100% are. It's that and I heard this yesterday on a podcast, like the curse of a high performer is that success is an obligation, not an achievement. So we can do these amazing things. We can achieve so much, but then I get there and I'm like, yeah, that's what I was meant to do. I always win. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas everyone else is going, fucking, you must be so proud, you're so happy. But it's just default. Yeah. But I do feel the pain if I lose.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as I don't feel any positive emotion when I get there, if I drop short, I've got the negativity of, fuck, you dropped the ball here, you should have done more, you should have worked harder, you're not good enough, you know?
Yeah. Do you feel alive?
Yeah, I do. I feel like I'm in control.
Yeah. It's interesting, right? Because figuring out what it is that you really want, that's a deep question. And I feel that there's more, because the more you start to look for it, the more you go, well, is it what I really want? Right? Like, and in all those areas, if we don't know what we want, doesn't matter. And there's different areas, right? Obviously business, personal, that kind of stuff. But then figuring out what the real challenge is here for you, right? So with a lot of high performance, like you guys, everything you said is normal. And remember that leadership makes it just blows it out of the park, because it's hard, man. It's lonely, number one. There's you have to guide, and you have to go first, right? And you have to have a certain level of certainty in what you do. But we're human and we all struggle, right? So part of my process is this. It's probably the world's simplest process, right? But we have we believe in the day-to-day routine, right? We believe in that the work instills the worth in a way, right? So there's a part of us that, in order to feel certain, to be at peace, to touch on the stuff that you talked about, the self-doubt and stuff, it's being able to develop the mental toughness. And I'm looking at you guys, you're pretty fit, probably got good routines and things like that, right? We have an intense process around that really stretches that, right? That gets you taking the right kind of action consistently, not missing, all of that. What that does, it's got nothing to do with your body. It's got nothing to do with working out. I don't care, right? What I care about is the person it helps you become. And as you go through it, it reveals the next thing and the next thing, and reveals the stuff that needs to be done. Now, once that's happening, the process is about breaking through and breaking free from the little patterns that we have, whether it's the attachment to results, right, and to what we achieve. Breaking free from doing stuff that, and as we talk about it, it's going to make sense to a lot of people, but it's not until you really look at it and you bring it into your consciousness, you go, shit, I'm doing that for seeking approval. Man, I'm not saying that so I don't get rejected. And what the reason why I love high performers is because we're already at this level. We're good at what we do, right? It's not like, hey, your next level is, and for you to get what you want, is more of the skill. My guess is it's not around the skill at all. It's about who you are, and it's about how you show up. Now, there's context. I don't know the full picture, and this is why I fucking hate advice on Instagram, because there's no context. And we say, oh, Carlo said this to Adam, that's what I need to do as well. No, it's not, because what Adam's going through and what you're going through, it's not the same for everyone. Yes, we're not that unique, and there is some basis, but real advice is based upon where you're at. I can't go and tell a soccer player to do X, Y, Z, and it's going to be the same for a basketball player. It's not. They're different things, right? So anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. But it's breaking free from that shame, breaking free from that hiding from yourself, first of all. And literally working through shame is the most liberating fucking thing in the world, right? To not hide anymore. And some of us go, Carlo, I really don't think I am hiding much. But there are ways that, because we're really clever, right? We're really fucking smart, and we're really good at surviving, right? And so we find all these ways to rationalize and just create a really good thing to protect ourselves. But that's not what the freedom is. And so as we help the person transform, but break free and come back on the inside, what begins to happen is that the company that they're working in begins to change as well. Because as you change how you think, act, and feel, then your company is basically just a living, and this is where English is my second language, I need to get it right, organism, not the other word, right? Organism. It's like a breathing, living person, right? That thinks, acts, and feels in a certain way. It's got an identity. It's got a culture, right? Because you're the head of it, right? You guys communicating, being on the same page is also quite important for it. But who you guys become, the company's going to become, because teams always become their leader, right? And if the leader is tentative or has to always succeed in order to know that it's great, that's what the company's going to become. In one way or another, it's going to become that. It's going to seep into that. If I'm doubting myself and going like, man, I'm in my head, I'm not moving, it's going to be in its head and it's not going to move. And it's not going to move as fast or to its potential. Does this make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
I don't know if it answers your question. I'm just going on a tangent. Just kept going.
Yeah. One thing that I've learned in a journey of finding more peace is that for males in particular, we're very reliant on that dopamine feedback loop.
Yeah.
And at so many different levels.
Yeah.
The male brain absolutely thrives on achievement, goals, and progression.
Yeah.
And it's finding that in every moment, whether that's the achievement of setting up your own business, whether it's the achievement or growth of growing that business, whether it's benching 100 kg in the gym.
Yeah.
That's so important to us. And for me, learning that process was the trust within myself. And once you do it a couple of different times at a few different levels, you then have that trust in your own skill and your own process to know that knockbacks might come, and that's normal. But I know the internal process now to go and achieve, whether it's this or whether it's something new, whether it's climbing back up the ladder. And that's one of the most freeing things that I've found.
It's good. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm listening to you say that, and I'm going, well, why? What's my thing then of when I go and achieve the thing, I don't get that dopamine rush every time. And I guess to caveat that, if it's a big fucking monster goal where the odds were slim and we do it, I get the feeling.
Yeah.
You know, but if it's just like, great, we want to do this, the next quarter we want to go an extra 20%, great, we've done that. Yeah, you should have.
Do you think it's maybe the window of that dopamine rush when you do achieve it to then you pegging the next goal out? Have you've benched 100 kg and you sit up on the bench and you're happy, but then straight away, okay, now it's 110.
Metaphor then, if I was doing 100k and I've just got that, and then you've just gone, oh sweet, loaded at 110 and smashed it, I'll go, fuck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel like I've achieved. I'll go, I'm still 10k.
Comparison is great, huh?
Yeah, thief of joy.
But I think everything we're talking about here, though, like it's a fuel source as well. So yes, you'd love to have the inner peace and fulfillment, but seeing halves do 110, now that's gone, well, fuck that. I'm going to do 110. Is it healthy?
But it's growth. It's growth. So you're looking at your goals and you make the whole thing about the goal. And then every time you get there, you normalize it. Right? I know you guys have had this conversation before on the podcast. What about who you're becoming? What about the character? Right? So there's a little exercise I do with people. Again, I do the world's most dumbest, simple stuff. Somehow they work. And I started doing this because I can't remember what year it was. It was towards the end of the year. And I was looking at the following year and going like, man, like the stuff that I'm struggling with now, it's the same stuff I was struggling this time last year. And I was struggling with it the year before and the year before that. That's not right. That goes against my value of growth because I'm still the same person. I can't be struggling with the same thing all the time. So I started thinking, okay, what if instead of goals, I just looked at my character, right? And I went inside out. What if I became the person, right, with the right character that because this is who I am, I know I'm gonna do certain things. Just because I'm doing this stuff doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop going after my goals. I know that's who I am. I love it. I love the game. I love growth. I want to improve. I'm passionate about the work that I do. I know my purpose for my company, and well, I'm just a winner, so I'm gonna want to continue winning. I can't forget that, right? So let me just lock that in the bank and just go. I know that's who I am, right? I'm gonna trust it. So now, what if I were to develop the characters for the next level? Because what got us here, it's not going to get us to the next level, right? So who do I need to become? What's the character? And if that looks like going to the bench and doing 100, perfect. Does it tap into the character of who I need to become, right? That's more valuable because, again, takes it away from the achievement and the external to this is who I am. No one can take it away. Him doing 110 doesn't take away that you've done 100, right? And you doing 120 doesn't take away from the. It's like I'm on my journey. I know what I'm doing. It's me versus me. That's what it is. Are you better than yesterday? Did you do 99 yesterday and do 100 today? You're on track, man. Right? So comparison it happens in business. Oh man, the boys at Harwell are doing X, Y, Z. And then like, oh wow, they're amazing. Shit, I'm shit. Right? Or hey, look at so-and-so, they're doing 100 million. We're only doing 50. We're fucking shit. Right? Happens all the time. Here's why. Because whenever you look up to someone, you think, oh man, they're doing great. And you think you elevate them. But in the same way, when you do that, you don't just elevate them, you actually push yourself back. So if you, and this is, I know you guys are both in football, right? Focus is the most important skill set that we have. Why? Because just like in sport and in business, things are moving. There's lots happening. Fucking noise everywhere. On Instagram, hey, you should be doing all this stuff on Claude now. Hey, what about this biohacking stuff and that thing and that? And like, oh my God, like, and all these people doing all this stuff. But you never take a moment to actually just look in the mirror. Like, hey, like, am I happy with me? Am I living up to, I'll tell you why part of the process for me is that everyday kind of thing. It's because I've got this thing in my head that drives me fucking nuts. And it's something called a little conscience, right? It knows everything. It knows when I'm being the fucking guy, and it knows when I'm just being not a fucking guy, right? And I know I can lie to you, but in back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, you're fucking full of shit, right? That's what I got to take care of. Because once you take care of that, you don't care how much he's pressing. Because you're taking care of the guy, man, hey, you've been a little bitch. You can do 100. No, I'm just going to beat you at it 90, right? You know what you're capable of, and you're not doing it. So we can do it as a show and we can pretend and put up this mask, or we can actually go do it. Much harder to walk the talk, but also it literally doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he's benching, what they're making, how many, placements they put. It literally doesn't matter because it's you versus you. I think that's the answer. At least it's been for me. I don't know.
I think the increased visibility in the world just forces people to change the way that they view their own situation. Yep. And when you're saying, the guy that does 100 mil to the guy that does 50 mil, the guy that does 50 mil is looking up going, I'm shit. Yep. Whereas if the guy that does 50 mil looked from a different perspective and gone, actually, my business does $50 million a year. That puts me in the top 0.00 something percent of Australia. The situation hasn't changed at all. 100%. It's just the perspective of which that person's viewing it.
Can I give you an example with golf? Okay, do you boys play?
I'm getting into it.
You play?
Well, I wouldn't say I go on the course with clubs.
Okay. You got a sim downstairs. I saw it. It's very good. It's very good. So let's say I love my golf. I've been able to work with some golf, and I love the sport. But I don't play as much as I like, and I definitely don't hit anywhere near as many balls as I would need to go and shoot consistently low scores. Does that stop me from going to the course and going, I'm shooting 72 today? And if I don't, I feel like a piece of shit, right? Oh man, like first shot that, goes right or left, I'm like, oh man, I'm going to have a shit day, right? And so I go on the course with the expectation that I'm going to shoot around like a professional golfer. I hit a 1,000th of the ball that I should compared to a golfer. I don't play every day. I don't practice my chipping. I don't practice my putting compared to someone that is a professional, right? I don't get as many lessons as they do, but I have the audacity, because I'm an egotistical little fuck, right, to go and say, I'm going to shoot a pro score. It's crazy. Now, if I say, you know what, I'm off 15, right? I hit balls once a month. I play 2 Ambros, a quarter. Maybe I can, if I shoot 95 today, I'm okay. Right? It's a good score.
Yeah.
Compared to someone in my shoes. Now, I go out and I shoot 82 over the moon. Totally different experience. This is why context is important. Because yes, someone is making $100 million, right? but they haven't had the journey that you have. You don't know how much backing they've had. You don't know the systems and the people and the network and what was given to you. Don't know that. You just look at the Instagram shit and go, he's brilliant. Man, he's a genius. They don't know, like, if they were in your shoes and had gone through everything that you guys have gone through, that's a healthy comparison. Where would they be? Or where are you in comparison to someone that has walked the exact same journey as you?
We've discovered this a lot, haven't we? Like, we would compare ourselves to other businesses. How's he grown so quick? How are they doing that? Almost every single time when we find out, they had an investor. They had backing. Yeah. They took a $3 million facility. Yeah. And like, we've bootstrapped this thing from day one. Yeah. We've never taken anyone else's money, and we tipped, I think, like 10 grand of our own money each into it. Yeah. So you're exactly right. We should be comparing ourselves to the people that have done exactly that.
The reason why that's powerful is because it allows you to get your power back, to actually realize that you're a badass, that you're actually powerful, that what you've done is fucking great, but it's never enough. You're not enough. I'm not enough. There should be more. And I'm looking at those people, and it becomes a temptation to just always look outside of you. If we reverse that, and you're actually just more certain of who you are because you know who you are, and you focus on that and you remember that, number one, it's not going to make you complacent. It's going to make you feel like a king. It's going to make you feel powerful. And because you feel powerful, the way you show up is completely different. Because when you feel good and you're on and you remember all the shit and you connect the dots looking backwards, tell me you don't go, man, let's fucking go. There's a difference. But it's an internal game.
If someone's listened to this, man, and we've got them revved up, which we like to think that we do, and they're sat there going, I am that nice guy or nice woman who's not kind of taking my power back, other than speak to you, what's the one thing they could do or put in place to kind of start that journey?
Please yourself first. Put yourself first. It's going to go against every program, because everything we're taught, just put other people first and put yourself up. Today, go and do the fuck you want to do. Say what you want to say how you want to say it. Go and do the thing that makes you feel good, feel happy. And it doesn't have to be, I'm just going to go and get a pedicure. No, it's like, no, I really believe in this. This is my belief. I'm going to say it. I'm going to stop censoring myself. I'm actually going to go and do that thing that it's at the back of my mind. I'm going to go and close loops around that thing that I really wanted to do and I've never done it. And I'm going to put myself first. If I don't want to eat that, I'm not going to eat that. If I'm just saying yes to that thing, I'm not going to do that anymore. You start to take your power back. You start to actually pull yourself first, which again, for a lot of people is like, oh no, I couldn't do that, right? But things change massively. And it's the simplest thing. It's a start. It's a first step, right? As you go, then you realize, man, either I really struggle with this, or there's deeper stuff, or man, I've got specific stuff, and then you take different actions. That's cool, right? But go and do the thing that you want to do. Close the mental loop that you have of all the things that you know you should be doing. That conscious, that higher self, that king self that is calling out, say, this is the one thing. Because that erodes your confidence. You just, and we throw out confidence all the time. You want to be more confident, you want to be more confident. I assume that, right? But do we know what confidence is? How would you define confidence? What's confidence to you?
The belief in yourself to do what you say you're going to do.
Okay, yeah.
It's being able to do something on autopilot for me.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So both those answers really go down to self-trust, right? Yeah. So confidence, and I'm really big around, especially when we work in teams, we've got to get on the same page around what we're talking about, right? We need language to be the same, because you could be talking Japanese, you could be talking, German, I'm talking English, and it's like, yeah, it's crazy, right? So we got to be on the same page. Anyway, defining words is really important, right? So confidence really is that self-trust. No, but how do we earn that self-trust? By watching ourselves do hard shit every day, right? Yeah. So every time there is, I call it an open loop. I don't know if you ever heard of it, open loop kind of theory, where whenever something happens or you have inspiration or that should come up, oh man, I really want to do this. And then you go, and you start to negotiate, fear creeps in and you go, yeah, no, I'm not going to say hello to the girl at the bar. I'm just going to just leave, or I wanted to do that thing, but no, I couldn't do that. What people think, right? The open loop stays open until you do something about it, and it's not result based. Then it closes. It's actually action-based. It's about taking action. And when you take action, you watch yourself take action, all of a sudden what happens? You go, man, there was that thing that I wanted to do. It was hard. I still did it. Man, I feel good about myself, right? And if we do that stuff all the time, you feel good about yourself. You start to pull your chest back, your shoulders back, your chin up, and you look at people in the eyes, and you don't avoid, you don't hide, you don't mask. Things change. People get hired. People get more clients. People grow, new relationships, all of that.
What a way to wrap us up, mate.
Yeah, mate, you speak
That's
so
been
well.
Awesome.
Yeah, you speak so well and so passionately about what you do. I've really, really enjoyed that. Mate, if people have loved it as much as we have and want to find you, where do they find you?
Instagram is probably easy. I'm on LinkedIn as well. So on Instagram, it's at the Kingmaker Coaching.
Yep.
Instagram, it's under my name, Carlo Chincarini. I'm sure I'll pop up somewhere. But yeah, it's been really cool.
Thank you,
Thanks for coming on,
Thank
mate.
you, boys. Appreciate it.
Hey guys, it's Jake and Lockie from Naturally Cooked Sunscreen, and we are pumped to be sponsoring the Two Blokes, One Business podcast.
We're on a mission to foster a generation of Australians who take sun safety more seriously and encourage it amongst their mates. You can find us at naturallycook.com.au or follow us at Naturally Cooked Sunscreen.